Welcome back, guys, to the grand final. We've got Waifu Fan Club taking on TC eSports. This is the grudge match from our first semi-final where Waifu beat TC 4-3. We had to see TC now battle their way in this lower bracket final. They beat Breakdown Xenon, and now they are back here in this grand final. My name's Muzz. Back on the decks, Herbie. How you doing?
Very good. Looking forward to seeing this grand final of Division 3. I'm back watching Waifu Fan Club after that first series of the evening, and it was a Game 7, a very exciting one to watch, in which TC Esports rallied from 3-1 down, led 2 goals to nothing in Game 7, and then let it all slip away with 5 consecutive goals against. But they've recovered very well to come back from the lower bracket. It was a good win against Breakdown Xenon just now. And despite this 1 game disadvantage in the grand final itself, I think they're going to feel like they have a fighting chance.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. Waifu having such a sterling run through the league, went unbeaten, 9 for 9. And then, of course, now 10 for 10, of course, because they did not lose to TC. But TC pushing them to that game 7. I mean, their game 4 was pretty rough. They got the Brazil on them 7-1. And then, of course, almost a reverse sweep coming out from TC. Herbie, it was so great to watch.
My main concern for TC, I feel like there will be a lot of energy, mentally speaking, but in terms of their actual focus on the game, will they let it slip a little bit at this point? This being their third best of 7 of the evening. For Waifu Fan Club, they've had a pretty lengthy wait. They were just chilling in the stream chat, enjoying watching
Yeah.
the lower bracket, and they're pretty well rested for this. TC, it's a lot different.
Yeah, it's definitely that that mixture of, are you coming off your high from playing, or are you playing too many back-to-back best of sevens? Because, like you said, now they're about to play their third one. Um, Extremely tough. Of course, we've got Waifu Fan Club with 1 game up as well, so they're already doing they're doing well, of course, with their 1 game. So yeah, I don't know. The fatigue, right? Third best of 7, Herbie. I mean, maybe it's going to hit TC just a little bit.
And not just a best of 7, but TC will have to do one better on the result that they had earlier. Losing in 7 games is not an option for them at this point. If they drop 3 games here, that's it. They've
Yeah.
got to really continue the momentum that they had in Game 5 and Game 6 of the series. It's good for them that they at least showed in that period that they could beat Waifu Fan Club. The early going of the series was pretty rough on them, but even though they ended up not winning, they went down to the lower bracket with the bit between their teeth because they knew they were capable of it, and they've got another opportunity to show it, but it will be challenging.
Yeah, I think if we see Samu and Perf playing how they did now in this previous series, I think definitely we're going to see TC Esports bringing it to Waifu. But like you said, Waifu with a decent break now, they're able just to kind of reset and possibly just chat about how they can maybe prevent a potential reverse sweep that we saw in that first semi-final. So yeah, grand final, Division 3. One of these teams, of course, will get promoted then to Division 2, and then of course that second team or the runner-up, they will be going through to kind of a division. What do we want to call it? A promotional game to see if they can go up as well. But of course, the winner going through to Division 2 in the next season. So definitely stepping up their game and slowly climbing the ladder, so to speak. Um, What do you
Yeah,
think
I'm,
here,
I'm not
Herbie? Are we going to
sure.
see Waifu again picking up the 3 games, or does the break
It
help them at all?
it definitely depends on this game too. The way that TC started off, they're going to be the warmer team, so they need to try and take it to a Waifu Fan Club whilst they're off their game. If Waifu Fan Club find a way to win this first game of the best of 7 and go 2-0 up in the series, they'll be in the driver's seat from that point onwards, and they'll be warmed up, and any kind of advantage that TC will have coming in from the lower bracket will just leave them. So first couple of goals for TC, particularly Samu. Samu's been on form so far in these playoffs in both of the matches that we've watched. They've been the catalyst for their team's offense, and they're going to have to continue that. They know they can do it against Waifu Fan Club, but yeah, they've got to win this game one to have any realistic chance, I feel.
Well, yeah, just to equalize the series. So this is going to be game 1 But of course, with the technical first game going already to Waifu, but TC, like you said, Herbie, they do have to win this to square it up. And of course, if Waifu do manage to pick up this and they're already 2 games ahead, then that's a hell of a safety net for them. Um, and then is there even really a comeback for TC? That reverse sweep was great. Obviously, I think they were kicking themselves after that first semi-final, going down 4-3. But very close. And like you said, Samu playing out of his socks right now. Him and Piff, they're doing superbly well. Fat Bear as well, just being that third man, getting decent passes around and blocking defenders in the net, or at least would be attackers in the net. But I think I do want to see a little bit more coming out from Fat Bear. Of course, he had kind of lackluster series we watched now. He wasn't really breaking 200 in any of those games. So it is Samu and Piff to carry, and then hopefully Fat Bear, he can come in every now and again with a decent demo or block and maybe 1 or 2 assists at least, just to break Waifu's play.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a double-edged sword when you have Samu playing as well as this, because they can forget to involve their teammates in the play and go for more solo stuff themselves. Waifu Fan Club haven't had that problem so far. They scored a ton of assisted goals in their best of 7 earlier on, particularly the game where they achieved the Brazil. That was 4 goals from Lilcon, and all of them coming off of assists from Angelo and then some. So they really had the passing connections going, and TC Esports haven't managed that so far. They still had enough to get past Breakdown Xenon, but maybe they need to fundamentally change up their tactics to be the better team in the early going.
No, they had a decent game against Xenon. And Xenon, of course, beating Incendia 4-0. So they absolutely just ran away with that series. But here we go, guys. This is going to be our game 1 of the series. And Fat Bear ready with a decent start. Pushing out, and now Angelo going long. Samu with the pickup. It's going to be crossbar to Mash. Mash can bring it down. Samu is in the box, able to get it out. Fat Bear over. Little Con. Out to the side. Mash should be able to pick it up. Can he get past Piff? Can he get into that corner though? Doesn't get the second touch. It's going to be Little Con. Oh, kept up by Fat Bear. Fat Bear. Angelo. Oh, and now Orange off to a great start with the multiple saves.
The Waifu Fan Club really put them on the back foot in these first 20 seconds or so. We talked about the momentum for TC Esports that they needed to carry into this game, and they haven't done that yet. This is their first real foray onto the attackers. Piff goes for the block on the defender. Fat Bear comes through with the shot. Piff was back in there onto it, and they try and keep the play alive. Piff will send it for Samu, and there is the first goal for TC Esports. They did well to keep the play moving after it broke down the first time, and now they have a lead to show for it.
And very decent interplay between Piff to Samu, and of course we can't speak about Samu enough as he gets in that left-hand side corner for TC Esports. They draw first blood, and they go 1 ahead so far. We haven't had a minute elapsed just yet. Piff. Fat Bear over 1. Little Con in the corner. Angelo's got to get that out. Brings it down to Mash. Mash got to play to his own corner. It's going to be Piff though to pick it up. Any crossbar action as Angelo brings it out. Finds Samu. Samu's got to play it from the side. Doesn't have any beans and goes completely across the face of that goal. Angelo gets it out a lot better this time. Blue just kind of holding the ball a bit too much in the danger zone. Samu. Angelo with nothing in the tank. Misses that 100 as well. All the way down to Mash. Mash with a lateral play. Piff. Pass 1. Samu gets it out. Shot on goal there.
From the defensive third, Lilcon will try and clear up this one. Piff gets the interception and the second goal as well. 2-0 fairly early on in what is game 2 of the series, and that is not a clearance that Lilcon will enjoy seeing again. Didn't get any distance on it, and Piff was in there to make the interception. A 2-0 lead for TC Esports. Waifu Fan Club, they had such a good start to this game, but they didn't get it past that wall that TC put up on the goal line, and it's coming back to haunt them.
And Herbie, you said this in the pre-game, but of course TC Esports have to take this game so that they can tie up the series, and they are doing that right now in fantastic fashion. It's going to be Samu! Second goal, third shot. Oh, awkward play here. Blue not able to get it out. Piff finding Samu again. These two buggers, Herbie, I mean, we'll be singing their praises for the rest of the series, it looks like.
Yeah, Piff involved in all 3 goals so far, and well, this is coming straight off the team playbook here for TC. This is an ideal start to the game, but there's plenty of time left to go. They can't afford to let their foot off the gas because here come Waifu Fan Club looking for their first of the game. Fat Bear will make the clearance out to the corner, and it looks like they've alleviated the danger for the time being.
And I think after that first semi-final, we do, or at least TC Esports, they want to make sure that they can get a win over Waifu. Doing so far so good. 3 goals up. Samu with another attempt, kept up by Mash, goes long. Fat Bear with the counter, brings it all the way out. He's gonna hit that crossbar. Oof, very close to almost bringing it down from the sky. Little Con. Can he get past one? Fat Bear, Samu to break that counter attack. Oh, almost down for Piff. Sick! Oh! Samu. Almost there in that bottom left-hand corner that TC Esports love. And of course, he was able just to stay here, make sure he picks it up, gets himself a hat-trick.
695 points in this game so far for Samu. Not just the hat-trick, but 3 saves to boot as well. Absolutely dominant in the first 3 minutes of this grand final. And TC Esports, they'll just want to keep piling it on, not give Waifu Fan Club any leg room to get back into this game and consequently go 2-0 up in the series. Bringing it back to 1-1 will be great for them and great for the neutrals as well.
Having an absolute sterling game. It is 4 goals up for TC Esports with 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Piff from his own corner. Attempted block out by Angelo. Pick up by Mash is going to be Fat Bear. Oh yes, and now of course Fat Bear coming out to play. Of course earlier calling him the Fat Goat, so hopefully he's going to continue to be the Fat Goat.
Well, the pre-game, you talked about Fat Bear struggling to break 200 points in the previous matches for TC Esports, but they popped up at the right time there to extend the lead to 5 goals, and TC Esports, they want some more. They push it central. Lilcon will make the clearance over to the far corner and maybe get it back again. Awkward clearance, and Mash is on hand to turn it home and score the first goal of this series for Waifu Fan Club.
Oh, awkward touch there from Fat Bear. And then, of course, Samu not able to get touch as well as he flew across face the goal. So, 4 goal difference with 1.5 minutes. It is possible, but TC Esports are having quite a decent time. If Mash, Angelo, if they are able just to keep up the defense and possession of the ball, then, of course, I think 4 goals should be the number that TC Esports can hold on to. 4 goals in a minute, though, Herbie. I mean, you have to score pretty quickly.
In all honesty, I don't see it happening, but Waifu Fan Club are doing a good job of trying to switch up the momentum because they can carry this into the next game of the series, even if they don't make the comeback in this one. If they can keep it tight at the back in this last minute or so and maybe get 1 or 2 more back, that would be very useful for them. But look at Samu. They don't want any of that to be happening. Their 4th goal of the game, 819 points now, 6-1.
And of course, the record books are going to show that between these 2 teams, there have been a hell of a lot of Brazils. And of course, TC Esports on track to pick up another one this evening of the Division 3 playoffs. So, 1 more for Orange. They could do it. They've still got half a minute left. Waifu Fan Club not being too convincing on the attack. Of course, Samu getting that ball all the way across, finds Angelo in the corner. Piff. Oh, very close there, Little Con. You got to do a little better than that. It's going to be Piff! It's going to be Piff! Picks up his second and picks up that Brazil for TC Esports. And now, what is that? Is that the 3rd of this evening between these 2 teams?
Not quite the 3rd, actually. TC Esports did pick up a huge win in the opening series between the 2 sides, but they couldn't tag on that extra goal, 6-1. Maybe that'll be the difference maker for them in trying to take the remaining games of the series, as they are on track for the Brazil. Assuming nothing funky happens in the last 10 seconds, maybe they'll just take another one. And, well, that's interesting in terms of momentum. The Brazil, massively indicative of a momentum game for the team, but maybe the sheer brutality of just piling an extra one over the line is even more threatening for Waifu Fan Club.
Yeah, I think just salt in the wounds there coming out from Samu. You know, that put on 10 if they could, but the clock's not going to allow it. So that's going to be game 2 going to TC Esports, and of course now equalizing and rounding up that series. So 1 apiece. Waifu, I think they have to stress a little here, Herbie.
8 goals is an absolutely unreal total for TC Esports to be piling on in this first game of the final. We talked about fatigue coming into play for them, all kinds of factors that could be affecting the mental and the physical side of their game, but they didn't let us see any of it. They kept it tight at the back at the beginning. They've got 7 saves to show for that. They could very easily have conceded the first goal in the first 30 seconds or so, but instead they piled it on going the other way. 8 goals, 4 of them assisted. A dream opening game of the series, but the question is, can they keep it going, or did they use up all their offense in this first game?
Yeah, and kudos to Samu as well. Breaks 1,000 points because he gets the 3 saves and 5 goals to his name. Of course, you know, TC Esports doing so well up front and getting the 8 goals, but of course, you know, looking at their 12 shots they made, you know, on top of that, and a ton of saves as well. So they did exceptionally well, you know, on the back of 2 best of 7 series. There's a hell of a lot of momentum carrying TC Esports right now, and maybe the break a little too long for Waifu Fan Club, as they do have to get their fingers back into the series. So that is going to be 1 apiece. Game 3 here, Herbie. Is 8 too many? I mean, do you get kind of like too full for goals?
I don't think you can ever score too many in a Rocket League game. I mean, you score
Okay.
8, pure statistics, it gives you a better chance of winning the next one. Like if you can put 8 past them, you can put 4 past them in the next game, and that's still a very good chance of winning. But it may well take on a completely different complexion this game. Now the series is tied at 1. We saw it from TC Esports in the previous best of 7 between these two teams that after they won a game, they actually shut up shop a little bit in the subsequent one and played a more defensive approach just to keep the clock ticking along and give themselves more of a chance against a team that was doing a bit better. But there's a kickoff goal 2 seconds into this one. Samu straight back onto the scoreboard. Waifu Fan Club might just be back in the toilet again.
And earlier we saw a 3-second goal coming up from Enderino, and of course now beating that by 1 second is Samu with the kickoff goal. TC Esports having a fantastic time of this grand finals, and Waifu Fan Club, they really need to start kind of putting their feet down, metal to the pedal, because TC Esports are coming here, you know, for your Division 2 promotion. Angelo, Fatberry, a lot more play coming in from this series. I'd love to see it. Piff, beaten up by Mash. Mash is going to be able to go along. Fatbear is back though. Miss though from Mash as well. Little Con didn't manage to get too much to the ball either. Mash picks up the 100. He's going to be able to try use some aerial control. It gets past 1. Doesn't beat Samu. Samu, the absolute goat on his team. He's got the backpack as well. He's just loading the other 2 in and saying, let's go for the ride. Mash hits that crossbar. Oh, everyone from TC Esports there, and they're just absolutely making sure that there's no blue ball going to go back into that net. Oh, Samu beats the last man.
Piff tried to get this one into the middle, but Lilcon will clear it away. And the good news for Waifu Fan Club is having that 1 game advantage in the grand final meant that going down in that first one, they're only 1-0 down in this game. That is the only real disadvantage they're suffering in this final at the moment. So it's not like they're particularly on the back foot. They've produced plenty of shots, but look at this from TC Esports. They're trying to go 2-0 up. That one is deflected away, and Mash will push it into midfield, hoping for a follow-up touch from Lilcon, but they've got no boost, and they take a huge demo from Fatbear. Mash will have to step into the play instead, but Waifu Fan Club can't get anything going in the other direction.
If you weren't a TC Esports fan before this, you might just become one, because they are showing us some excellent Rocket League right now. Doing so well, holding on to this 1 goal lead. Fatbear there with a decent demo. And now Little Con, he steals the 100. And Waifu trying to get into this back of the net, but they're struggling. And Samu with the long play that he should find Angelo. And now Fatbear throwing bodies. Gets it down to Samu. Can there be a second man? There won't be. Perf is back, picks up the ball. He's got a half tank, picks up the 100, gets past one. Little Con is back, pops it up into the air. Samu could be directly down to the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, Little Con keeps it out. Whew, almost a second there for TC. Samu goes across, is not going to find Fat Bear, picks up the 100. Angelo with the ball, decent aerial control there. No one's home. Fat Bear, oh, misses. Piff misses as well. Is there going to be an empty net? Piff. Whew, extremely close there. A bit lax in concentration coming up from TC. Almost cost them that goal. Samu, out of his own corner, onto the wall, picks up the ball himself. Fat Bear. 100 into the right-hand side. Samu picks up his second for TC eSports.
Well, I was going to say, as long as TC eSports were only 1-0 up, Waifu Fan Club were very much in this game, but since the first couple of minutes or so, they haven't strung together much on the attack. A low shooting game, this one. 5 shots for TC eSports to 4 for Waifu Fan Club. It's a 2-goal deficit with just under 2 minutes to go. It's very doable, but look at this from Fat Bear. Across the face of the goal, they don't get it on target. Angelo tried to put it back across, looking for a teammate in midfield, but they're not linking up on the passing plays, and it's costing them at the moment.
Not linking up indeed. And TC eSports holding a lot of the possession. Doing exceptionally well just to smother Waifu Fan Club. Angelo, so close for the bottom left-hand corner. It would have been so close. Little Con, mash. All right, so there it is. Waifu Fan Club on the board.
1 minute 15 to go. Plenty of time to find that equaliser. Respect to Lil Con for the pass back into the danger area. There was nobody present on the goal line, and it was well placed. Absolutely on a platter for Mash to thunder that one home. And now they'll look for something quick from the kickoff, but Samu comes straight through. The clutch player, as ever, for TC eSports may have a save to make here. Lil Con trying to drag it forwards, and it's Fat Bear of all players getting there on the goal line to make the stop.
1 minute left with a 1-goal differential going here to TC eSports. Not for a lack of trying from Waifu Fan Club. They're absolutely throwing themselves into... Oh, Samu very close there to almost getting the ball into his own net. And now Mash chasing Fat Bear around, trying to get the bumps. Angelo's going to go up. Fat Bear, though, he's going to miss. He hits the crossbar. It's going to be Mash, bottom right-hand corner. Gets his second here for Waifu. And now the slow comeback for Waifu.
There's now 37 seconds on the clock, and, well, it looked like TC eSports a minute or so ago were in a very good position to go 2-1 up in this series, but now any team's going from this point onwards. Next kickoff comes through. Waifu Fan Club trying to keep the momentum, keep the train moving forwards. Samu halts it for now. Mash will put it back in off the back wall. Samu makes yet another clearance in the direction of Fat Bear. Angelo will try and send it back as we're into the final 30. Samu with a powerful clearance that will alleviate the danger for now.
Potential overtime territory here. TC eSports have to try thoughtless attack. Oh, very close from Mash. It's gonna be Little Con bringing it down, and that's gonna be, should be, game 3 going to Waifu Fan Club with Little Con with a beautiful goal over Fat Bear.
Well, don't underestimate what you can do in 5 seconds. The kickoff will come through, and there may be one chance for TC eSport. It is a good one. Samu's going to put some pressure on it, but they don't have the boost. It will be Piff's responsibility to keep it up. Gets the flick in, and there was a player right there. You can see it along the ground. It's so close, but no dice. Waifu Fan Club 2-1 up in the series.
And when you talk about what can you do in 5 seconds, Herbie, Fat Bear extremely close there to almost picking up the 3rd goal for TC eSports, but of course it is going to be Waifu Fan Club picking up game 3. And so they're going to go 1 ahead in the series, 2-1. But TC eSports, they're playing exceptionally well. And of course, Waifu, they had to find their momentum. They really were struggling. And now, of course, they did exceptionally well. That they picked up the 13 shots. It's down to the wire, Herbie.
For TC eSports in this game, it was not quite on full form, and you can tell from the points total. Samu up there again. I mean, who else? 662 points, but then both the other two not above 250. Samu was making plenty of saves for sure, but after they went 2-0 up, they very rarely got an opportunity to leave their half. Their opportunity to equalise in the dying seconds of the game was pretty much the first foray they'd made forwards in the final 2 minutes of the game in entirety. So, first goal of this one, as ever, very important. TC Esports have got to take this one and then continue to try and build upon it, as they did in the first game. Hell, put 8 on if you have to, but put on more than 2, because
Yeah.
Waifu Fan Club will eat that advantage away.
And I mean, if they had 7 seconds left of that match, then Fat Bear could have scored and we could have gone to the overtime. You know, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. So, game number 4. And already shots coming out from Mash. Extremely close. Samu with the quick counter attack, but he gets cut up by Little Con. And now it looks like Waifu are definitely putting their foot down, as they're just controlling the pace right now. Perf with a long shot, kept out by Little Con. Angelo from the side, Samu. He's got the aerial control there, but there is 2 in the box though. Mash. All 3 are back for Waifu. Fat Bear trying to get his name in the mix. Down for Angelo. Oh, very close there, Samu, but Mash keeps him up. Angelo for Little Con. Little Con with a hard shot. Whew. And this is now Waifu in the first minute, definitely showing us why they went through the whole entire league unbeaten.
From the halfway line, Piff will get it back again. 1-on-2 for the time being. Gets a block in. It will come back to the halfway line where Fat Bear looked to go up for it, but kind of side flipped on the ground and didn't get good contact. Con for Angelo. 3-man passing play ends up with Mash taking the shot. It's a slight chip, saved in the middle by Fat Bear. Samu gets an excellent clear on that. Piff is up for this one. 1 defender back, but they miss on the redirect attempt. Huge opportunity to go 1-0 up. 1-0 up. No goals so far in this game. Angelo trying to change that, but no goals at all.
Oh, now both his teams, yeah, struggling to convert any offensive pressure into goals. As Samu's going to try bringing down for Piff, but of course already kept out by Angelo. Angelo is going to get over Fat Bear. Fat Bear with a good decent stop and block. Out to Fat Bear again for Piff. Into the corner. Can anyone bring it down? Oh, extremely close from that third man. I mean, if we didn't see an overtime in the first game, we might just see that OT coming at chair in game 4, as both his teams just struggling to get past the other defensive outfit. Doing exceptionally well to look on. Oh man, and this is TC Esports coming back. It's gonna be Samu. Oh, extremely close. Hits that crossbar.
Samu is missing a few too many opportunities in this game. I've got to say, that's 2 big chances now. That most recent one hitting the post. Is that going to come back to bite TC Esports, or will they find that crucial goal? It's Fat Bear off the back wall. Samu's not on hand to turn it home this time. Piff will do their best to keep it back. Lil Con flicks over the top of one defender, and Fat Bear is on hand to make the save again. Samu looking to their left, but Piff had to stay back. With just over 2 minutes to go, I am beginning to think that 1 goal is all either team need in this game. It's been a tightly contested affair.
Yeah, and to what you were mentioning earlier, put on 8. I think one of these teams only want 1 at this moment, because it is so damn difficult to score, let alone try put on another 7. As TC Esports, they're in the half here. They're going to try get it. Fat Bear to get past the Locon, he does so. Can they break the last defender? It's going to be Piff to pick it up. Oh, misses Samu. Samu's got a reel all the way around, and now Angelo on their quick counter-attack. Oh, decent. Huge pinch. It should miss. It might. Oh, decent catch coming up from Mash. And now Samu with the 3rd shot there, and it misses again.
Samu's going to get it back though from the halfway line, puts it back in off the backboard, looked for an extra touch, didn't get it. Piff puts it back into the danger area, and Samu's up for it. The lightest of dinks, but the save was made by Mash. Now it comes back to the halfway line where Fat Bear will have to race back without any boost. Piff takes the one in the corner, decides to clear it up to the halfway line as we're approaching the final minute. Gets an extra touch on it and puts it into the danger area. Samu to redirect it down. Too many chances going by the wayside for Samu, but still TC Esports pile it on.
And 6 shots together from TC Esports with nothing cracking blue defense. Missing all of the fantastic opportunities. That's going to be Little Con. Almost putting that into the bottom corner. So close. Angelo for Piff. Piff got to play this out of his own corner. Mash though, coming into his face. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be Fat Bear to get that stop. Little Con from the side. Samu. It is extremely close and extremely tight right now. Both of these teams absolutely playing all out. Fat Bear. Can he get past 2 in the corner? He does so. It goes over. Fat Bear. It's gone wide. It finds Perf. There was someone back home. Third man defending. Mash. They got to kill this ball for the overtime. Could it be Fat Bear to get down? First overtime in an absolutely cracker of a game.
For a 0-0, it's been a thrilling affair between these two teams so far. You could argue a case for either team being the deserving winner of this match, but it will all come down to the overtime goal. Con is in here, and it's a 3-1 series lead now for Waifu Fan Club. The clutch moment has fallen to Con, and they took it.
And such an awkward touch onto Fat Bear's roof. And Little Con just to get in the only goal of this game in overtime. Like you said, they take game number 4 and they go up now 3-1. Waifu Fan Club. What an intense game we had to watch there. Absolutely overtime with a 0-0 thriller. Oh, I mean, this is, what a grand finals is all about, Let's get 0-0 games, let's push it to overtime, and then let's have something awkward like shooting off someone's roof. Unfortunate there for Fat Bear. We can bring it back now in Game 5, TC eSports, hopefully. Whew, no, Herbie, this is edge of your seat stuff.
It's a real heartbreaker for TC Esports to go down in that game in that fashion. They're not playing bad in this series at all. I mean, the 8-1 was a perfectly good indicator of that. The subsequent couple of games have been very close, but that's where that one game bracket advantage comes in handy for Waifu Fan Club, having taken the win in the first series between these two teams. They're now riding that advantage out because you never know. This series could have been going to TC Esports if it went to the full 7 games, but it's not going to go that far because of the initial one, and Waifu Fan Club are using that to their advantage. They've got multiple chances now to put the series to bed, and the first is here in Wasteland.
Yeah, decent safety net for Waifu Fan Club. And Perf already with an early shot. Doesn't get it in as Angelo keeps it out. And now already bumps coming up from Fat Bear onto Little Con, the only goal scorer of the previous game. Extremely tight series here, and it's anyone's game. Well, more so Waifu Fan Club's, but it's, the scoreline and the series line, it just doesn't paint the true picture of how well TC Esports are playing against these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't put it past TC Esports to just turn up and win 3 in a row here, but they need Samu to start creating some offense again. They've been held scoreless in the last couple, and that's really hurting them at the moment because the other two players, they've been very useful in the utility role, but they have not got the same offensive catalyst that Samu has, and right now they're being forced onto the back foot here at the conclusion of the first minute of the game. Biff makes a very good clearance though over the top of Con. Mash clears it up to the ceiling, gets an extra touch on it as well. Samu has a crack from distance. Fat Bear is up for this one, but they're not going to read that. Suddenly it's a one-on-one going the other way. It's Con trying to drag it over the top of Piff, and Mash is the follow-up. Great clear by Samu to keep it 0-0. Fat Bear looks for the shot, gets it back again off the backboard. Samu takes over, but no clear opportunity at goal there.
Perf, oh, there it is, okay. Finding the sweet spot for TC Esports. Perf pops it in. Angelo here with the awkward touch infield. Perf cutting him out, and Little Con not able to do too much there at the back. So, this is kind of do or die for TC Esports. They do need to win this game. And of course, Perf hopefully, helping them to that victory with that one goal. It goes long. Samu there is with the block. Little Con on the outside. And now TC Esports having to play out of their own half in their own corner. Onto Angelo's nose. Little Bear with the pickup. He's going to take it. He gets over one. Can he do more? Oh, close. Is it going to be a second man? Perf with the whiff. Extremely close for TC, almost picking up their second. And now Little Con out to Perf. Mash is in the box, so it should be fine for Waifu. Oof. Okay, keeps it out. Almost with a block though, but Samu. And now second goal up for TC Esports.
Finally, there is a goal on the board for Samu, and that bodes very well for them, their chances in this game. It's a clutch moment to get themselves on the scoreboard. And noticing the points at the moment, 267 for Angelo and 3 saves, couple of shots, but Lil Con and Mash not getting as involved in this game as they were in the previous one, where they generated 12 shots between them. it's not quite the same offensive dynamicness that we've seen from them before. And maybe that's complacency setting in a little bit. When you get an opportunity to win the series, you think you're going to get it done and dusted at the first attempt, but TC are proven to be a lot more tricky on opposition than maybe they initially expected.
Yeah, hopefully, Waifu do not rest on your laurels now, as TC Esports having a fantastic game 5. Samu with the 1 goal. Now Little Con, Mesh, and Angelo back. It's going to be a post, unfortunately, for TC Esports. Now, is there anyone back? Though, quick counter-attack is needed here from Blue. Little Con, bump onto Mesh by the Fat Bear. You see just those auxiliary players that you mentioned, doing work. Making sure, Fat Bear just kind of bouncing people out the way. Big, heavy tank in that... Can't think of this thing now. Oh, the Fennec. There we go. Completely brain dead there for a second.
Samu will clear this one up over the halfway line. Angelo will get it back again, but it's a solo mission for them at the moment. Samu looks for the pass into midfield, gets it back again, takes the shot. Great save there made by a little kind of reaction stop on a team play from TC. You can tell that the confidence is brimming for them at the moment when they go for the multi-pass play. They could have easily taken it on after the first one for the shot, but looked for the extras too. Might still have a chance again in midfield as Angelo makes the clear over to the far wing. But with 90 seconds to go, they're looking very good to maintain their lead here.
Looking very good indeed. As Fat Bear tries to get up for that ball, they're going to find Angelo. He's going to try to take a shot. It's going to go quite wide. Samu with a full tank. He's going to be able to try air dribble this ball the whole way. Can he get the flip reset? Though, gets it past Angelo, and that's going to be Samu.
Oh boy, what a goal. And what a way to go 3-0 up in this game. 2 defenders there, absolutely dumbfounded. Samu is back on form, and TC Esports are back in the lead as a result. They've now got 107 to see this out and force a game 6 in this series. I think they'll want to add more to it, though. It's beginning to feel a lot like the opener of the series, where Waifu Fan Club just don't have a response on offer.
And with the 1 minute left and the 3-goal deficit, TC Esports just need to hold on tight, and they can stay alive in this series. Little Con trying to find Mash. It's going to be Fat Bear with the Angelo though going out. Samu with the pickup. Samu with the bit of a fluff there. I don't know what happened as Little Con sends it all the way down, and now Fat Bear, almost very awkwardly putting it down towards his net though. Mash into the corner. It's going to be Piff to pick it up. Fat Bear is on his side. Angelo. Piff. Mash. Very close indeed now, and of course more shots coming out here from TC Esports. They want to pick up a 4th. Why the hell not? It's going to be very close there. Fat Bear almost picking up his first, and now Piff sending the ball all the way back to his own half. But I don't think it matters right now, as they are up by 3. So this is going to be game number 5 won by TC Esports, and now they're going to pick up 2 games in the series. Here we go. They did it in the first semi-final game where they slowly crawled back with a reverse sweep. Can TC Esports come back and potentially clinch the series?
Well, TC Esports, they needed a response heading into this game. And let's just take a look at our best of 7 tier winning checklist. 13 shots on goal between them. Yes. 3 goals. Yes. Keeping a clean sheet as well. Fantastic performance on the whole from back to front. They're very good value for that victory, and they'll have oodles of confidence in terms of trying to take another 2, but it's a long road back when you've got to win 3 games in a row, and we know there is going to be a response from Waifu Fan Club now. And look at where we are, Neo Tokyo, the very site of Game 7 in the previous series between these 2 teams, where Waifu Fan Club came roaring back to give themselves this game advantage in the final, and now here they are again, hoping to do the same thing and seal the deal in Division 3 and take home the title.
So TC Esports right now playing from behind, and hopefully, they need to be winning here on Neo as well. Let's see if they can get in another early goal and just try, build upon it, get 3 goals from the previous game as well. They did so well just to keep their dreams alive. Fat Bear over Angelo, doesn't get the second touch, so finds Piff. Piff doesn't have anything left in the tank. He's going to steal the 100 though. Angelo. He's got men in field. Finds Mash, misses Mash. And now Waifu not able to connect at this moment. Little Con, it's wide. Perf keeps it out. Samu into the corner, doesn't find anyone. Is there a middleman? Angelo picks it up. There's going to be a quick counter attack here coming from Waifu. Going to get past one. He's going to be able to. Oh, I don't know, Herbie. I mean, this is how it goes.
I actually think Samu may have held that ball in. Fat Bear was in a decent position to save it, but the extra bump that it took on the way through gave it enough speed to carry past the defender, and that's an unfortunate way for TC Esports to concede the opening goal of the game. Waifu Fan Club won't care a jot after they were shut out in the previous one. They're now going to look to try and build on that and maybe play from in front here on the Tokyo, but we know TC Esports can produce plenty of offense of their own, as shown in the last game. No better time than the present.
And now Samu up. Can he get the second touch? He's going to be kept up by Angelo. Fat Bear brings it down. Is there going to be a second man? Unfortunately not. Piff doesn't come in. And now, possession going here to Waifu. Samu to Piff with the block. Is there going to be Fat Bear? He comes roaring in. Gets it wide though, into the corner. Samu, he's going to try to take a shot, but it's not going to be the angle that it wants. Piff. Little Con pops it up into the ceiling. He's going to find Fat Bear. Down to Mash. Could have been an awkward pass. That was okay. Perf to bring it down. It's going to be wide. And now TC Esports, they do need to find the equalizer.
Hilcon's going to clear it in the direction of Mash. He gets a shot on target. Samu's got on hand to make the save. They carry it out onto the right wing. They've got Piff in the middle. Are they going to go shot or pass? It's a shot. It's in. Bottom left corner. Game-tying goal. Samu, yet another clutch play.
Another clutch play coming out from Samu, and they get past Little Con there. Doesn't able to get up and get that ball out. And now there's the equalizer for TC Esports. 3 minutes left in the do-or-die game. TC Esports do need to pick up this game, and then of course we're going to go to that fantastic game 7, but of course still is a long road ahead of them. Mash keeps it out. Perf is going long. It's going to be Little Con to an open net. Oh boy.
Well, it's the pass back there from Piff, and the connection was offline as Samu was looking to come in and receive it at speed. Couldn't get over the halfway line quick enough to be in a good position, and well, Lil Con was on hand to roll that ball into an open net. You're not going to have an easier goal all series. 2:43 to go, and Waifu Fan Club have the lead back. TC have already shown that they're capable of equalising once, but it's going to be difficult to do it again. You've got to dig up some momentum from somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of grit needed here from TC Esports if they want to keep things alive, but it's going to be Nash. Mash hits crossbar. Very, very close to picking up their third. Fat Bear. Angelo. Fat Bear again. Oh, doesn't get it up. Piff, though, with a whiff. Oh, a bit of kind of faulty plays are coming up from TC Esports, and if they just maybe lack their concentration that they needed, then Waifu are going to equalize or at least economize on mistakes made.
It's up at the halfway line for Con, who will try and send it back again. Fat Bear is the defender on hand to receive it. They've done very well to get it in field, actually. Do they have an extra touch? No, it's given away to Mash. Mash looking for the double tap, and it's in! 3-1 with 1:44 to go. Is that the dagger for TC Esports? A 2-goal comeback at this stage. It's not been their best performance in Game 6. Do we see our Division 3 champions already?
It's so close, Herbie. You know, we've got the 2-goal difference here. 145 on the clock. We are going to see. It's very tight here. You know, we do need to see kind of better passes and plays here coming up from TC Esports. We see Piff kind of not really getting too much ball to... Oh, there it is. Okay, so Samu, being kind of the clutch player that he is and doing so well for TC Esports, is keeping their hopes and dreams alive, picks up his second goal. So, is it going to be on the back of Samu that TC Esports can find Game 7?
Well, who was I kidding 30 seconds ago when I said Waifu may have taken it already? Samu's not going to let that happen. How about a double tap from Con? It's on the line. Needs to be cleared out. Samu can't get it away, and it's in. 4-2. What drama straight in front of the net. Waifu Fan Club restore their 2-goal lead.
Oh, and that ball was hanging there 2/3 over. And now that is 2 goal difference going to the side of Waifu Fan Club. And, it's going to potentially go the same way as that first semi-final between these two teams. As now Waifu Fan Club are showing us what they're made of. And now Anshlo into the top right-hand corner. Oh, and here it is. The sluice gates might just be open.
Well, it's the utility players at fault there as Samu was rotating back far side. They both stepped up into the play and Con slipped the ball past both of them. The finish ran slow straight into the top right corner, past the on-rushing Samu, who came across from the opposite side, and, well, they can't cover the entire net from that position. So it's a 3-goal lead with 1 minute to go. Waifu Fan Club look very much in control now.
And that becomes just a little bit more difficult for TC Esports to come back, as they have to score 3 goals. And I don't think the time is going to allow for it. And of course, the pressure coming at you from Waifu Fan Club is immense. And they're just holding on to the possession. I don't think I've seen TC Esports with the ball in quite some time. And of course, she has Mash finding a pass from Anshlo. It's very close. They're almost picking up that 6th goal. Would have been so close. Now, Samu can only do so much for his team, but alas, don't think it's going to be enough. Little Con, nothing left in the tank. He's going to bring it out from the side. Mash, as this clock does count down, we should be looking at our Division 3 champions. Long ball, Perf with a pickup. Oh, Little Con almost should have looking for a bash. Ball's going to come down. 10 seconds left. Perf. Maybe just a consolation goal. Why not? Oh, Little Con to keep him out. The ball's going to die.
Well, it doesn't matter at all for these Waifu Fan Club players. They know that the race for TC Esports is run. They've put 5 goals past them. Once again, on Neo Tokyo, history repeats itself in a matter of hours. Congratulations to the unbeaten league play winners of Division 3. Waifu Fan Club have come through the playoffs. They are the champions of this tier.
Waifu Fan Club. Just going all the way, showing us what they're made of. Like you said, they're just kind of unbeaten the whole way through. They did the 9-for-9 in league play. They beat TC Esports in that upper bracket semi, and then of course going unbeaten here, and of course the final as well, and being crowned your Division 3 champions. This is what a win rate of 100% looks like. Herbie, phenomenal play coming out here from Waifu, and of course, TC Esports going to be able to go through to that promotional game. So maybe Division 2 for them as well. We'll have to see.
Yeah, both teams very well could be deserving of a place in Division 2 next season, and it'd be very exciting to see them up there. But for Slipstream this weekend, that is all she wrote. We've seen the Division 4 playoffs yesterday with ILV Purple coming out on top in the final, and now Waifu Fan Club winning today on Easter Sunday. Next week, Division 1 and Division 2 playoffs happen on Saturday and Sunday evening. That is going to be super exciting. We can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely massive. So another big thank you to Godalions for the ECC Season 8 sponsorship. But otherwise, from me, Muzz, I'm going to be out, Herbie.
Very exciting to be here, and congratulations once again to Waifu Fan Club. Very deserving champions. Love to see it.